Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes About Pulsar. My name is Chris Bartholomew. I'm on the streaming team at DataStax. Today I'm going to be showing you how to partition topics and failover subscriptions work together to guarantee in-order message delivery. If you want to follow along and don't already have a deployment of Pulsar, visit astra.datastax.com/register-streaming and get a free Pulsar setup up and running in under a minute. Like other streaming systems, Pulsar supports partition topics. Partition topics are needed when the performance requirements of the topic is high, so that it would make better sense to distribute the load across multiple Pulsar brokers instead of just one. In the diagram, we can see that there are 5 partitions distributed across 3 brokers, and there's 2 consumers. As you notice, each consumer is connected to all 5 of the partitions, but for each partition, only one of the consumers is active. This is important for in-order processing of the messages. Messages produced with a key attached are hashed by the key and consistently sent to the same partition. If only a single consumer can consume from that partition at one time, then the message will be consumed in order by that key. So how does Pulsar ensure that only one consumer consumes from a partition at a time? Failover subscriptions. If you watch some of our other 5 Minutes About Pulsar videos, you may have learned that a failover subscription allows multiple consumers to connect to a topic, but only one is active at a time. If the active consumer disconnects, one of the backup consumers takes over. In the case of a partition topic, Pulsar adds some additional logic. Each consumer connects to all the partitions with a failover subscription. For each partition, Pulsar selects one of those consumers from the group of consumers connected to the partition topic to be active. In other words, it coordinates between the consumers of the partition topic to make sure each partition has a single, unique active consumer. So I've gone into Astra Streaming and I've created a partition topic with 5 partitions. And on that partition topic, I've connected 5 different consumers. So the consumers, each one is connected to the partition topic, and they're running in these 5 different windows here. And for each partition, there's only one of these is chosen as the active consumer. And to demonstrate that, I've created a very simple script that calls Pulsar admin, and then just pulls out the active consumer property from the stats output. So let's just run that, and we'll see that the active consumer listed for each one of the partitions, and now it's calling each partition 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, one at a time. And when a consumer connects to Pulsar, it has, in this case, a unique identifier. And we can see here from the stats, you can see which consumer is active on the subscription by the active consumer name. And you can see here that each one of these is different. Although all 5 of these consumers are connected to the same partition topic, and they all have connected to each partition, only one is active for each of the partitions. I will show you a very simple Python script. So this Python script will publish 100 messages and change the key every 20 messages. So we'll quickly run this, and we'll see all 5 of our consumers here have received messages. And if we look back in the history, we'll pick this one for example. This consumer on this partition is receiving messages with key 11 and 8, 11 and 8. Now, if we disconnect one of these consumers, for example, let's just disconnect this one. So now we have 4 consumers but 5 partitions. We can run the active consumer again, and we'll see now, because we have fewer consumers than we have partitions, one of the consumers is going to be active on 2 different partitions. So we'll see it's a little slow. 2, so far the first 2 are the same. Okay, now we've moved partition here, it's a little bit different. So you can see that the active consumer 24AB2 is active on 2 different topics. So Pulsar has reassigned the failover subscriptions such that there's now 4 active consumers. These 4 consumers are active on 5 different partitions. Publishing again, we can send the same 100 messages, and now those will show up on the 4 different here. Now, if we were to add the 5th one back in, and then over here we add a 6th one of the consequences here is that if you have more consumers than you have partitions, it will not receive any messages. One of the consumers will not receive any messages. Let me just get those connected there. We'll run that again. So now we can see messages are being received on 5 of the consumers, but this 6th one over here isn't receiving any messages. And that's because we have 6 consumers, 5 partitions. Each partition can only have 1 active consumer. If you wanted to get the 6th consumer into the consumption, we'd have to add another partition to the partition topic. And there you have it, partition topics and failover subscriptions. If you have any questions or feedback, you can leave us a comment below or email us at pulsarquestions@datastax.com. That will go to the Pulsar team here at DataStax. We have lots of Pulsar experts that would be happy to help you answer any questions. We hope to hear from you. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please click on the like button. Have a great day, everyone.